On today's show, we're doing a mental health check-in with all my Bengals fans on the recent release of that Mike Brown statement. I'm sure you guys have all seen it. Let's get into the show and then discuss that. Keep it short and sweet, guys.
I keep stressing in my mind, day and night.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is Fourth and Whodey. I'm your host, Corey. If you guys have been here before, I appreciate it. And if you like the content, go ahead, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Bengals. It's the end of the season. We just wrapped up yesterday. Today is Monday, and obviously you got teams firing head coaches and teams not firing head coaches in terms of the Cincinnati Bengals. But they did indeed release a statement, which I'm going to get to, and we're going to discuss kind of what the future holds for this organization and this team moving forward, as we're all pretty frustrated, right? So let's get into it. Obviously, Mike Brown, Bengals president, released a statement earlier saying, "We came into the season with high expectations, coming off 4 straight winning seasons, with leaders in place that took us to a Super Bowl and 2 AFC championship games. First and foremost, I love how they love to slide in 4 straight winning seasons. The last 2 years they finished 9-8. If you consider that a winning season, winning a bunch of meaningless games, I don't know what to tell you. That kind of says what your standard is right there. And obviously mentioning the Super Bowl and the 2 AFC championship games, yeah, that's great. Happened years ago. Time to get with the times. You guys are a bottom 10 team in the league, and you're still resting on the fact that you went to a Super Bowl and an AFC championship game more than 3 years ago. So, I mean, I think that says it all in the first couple sentences there, right? And we go on, and we know the season has been frustrating and disappointing. The results fell short of our standards, and missing the playoffs again proves there's more work to do. Yeah, plenty. Our focus is on building a team that can consistently compete at the highest level with the goal of winning championships. After thoughtful consideration, I am confident that Duke Tobin and Zac Taylor are the right leaders to guide us forward. They have proven they can build and lead teams that compete for championships. We trust their plans and expect to return to our desired level of success. We are taking a hard look at everything we do as we approach this offseason with focused determination to build the championship caliber roster that wins consistently. We are fully committed to delivering results that match the pride, passion, expectations of this organization and our fans." Well, there you have it. Not exactly what you want to see today after the season that we had, and I think it was pretty straightforward that moving forward with Zac Taylor and Duke Tobin was the wrong move to make. And I don't think that needs to be more over-exaggerated than it kind of already has been. Like, we know what the problem is with this team. Zac Taylor's just not a good coach. We also know that Duke Tobin is probably one of the worst GMs in the league. I don't think you can look at a track record where you've had success for 1 or 2 years and say that you're confident in someone's ability to get us out of where we are right now and win again, because people can have fluke seasons. You know, you can just happen to stumble upon one of the best quarterbacks ever by being the worst team in the NFL, landing Joe Burrow. All these things come into play. And I think their track record over the last couple of years, where these have been pivotal moments, right, for a franchise. You've had Joe Burrow had to go on talk shows and voice his opinions, yada, 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 do all this crap. And he said that this is the most instrumental offseason. And what did they do? They sat back. They let free agency happen. Didn't go make any big signings because Duke Tobin sat there and said that I'm confident in the guys in this locker room. Zac Taylor said the same thing. So I don't know how you listen to that narrative in back-to-back seasons, multiple seasons here, where they're just not getting to the playoffs. And you can sit here and go, you know what? Yeah, let's run it back again. Let's do the same thing with these guys because I trust them. Because the decisions that have been made in this building are ridiculous. There's no sense of urgency whatsoever. You have a championship level quarterback, and you have championship caliber receivers. You have the potential of having the best offense in the league, one of the better teams in the league, and you don't go out there and do anything about it. It makes me shake my head consistently over and over again. I don't know where you go from here as a fan, and I feel bad because I know we're all sitting here, slamming our fists on the table this morning and being like, what the fuck are we doing, right? And I agree. It's hard. I'm a season ticket holder, and I'm like this close from pulling the plug and just being like, this is enough. Because it's ridiculous. And then you have other teams like the Browns are firing Kevin Stefanski, Falcons, Raheem Morris, teams that have a desired level of expectation, and they're showing you, listen, we're going to do something about this. This is unacceptable, and we're going to go take a shot at somebody else. That's great. Now, I personally think Kevin Stefanski would be a great head coach in Cincinnati. Mind you, the Browns organization is a bit of a mess too. But I would be getting rid of Zac Taylor and hiring Stefanski in a heartbeat. Simple as that. I don't think Zac Taylor's a good coach. I think there's, and I always argue this, it's like, don't fire your head coach if you don't have any alternative options, right? What's your plan? But at this point in time, I think you look at Zac Taylor and you go, he's probably the worst of the worst. Anybody out there could coach this team better. Anybody out there could have a plan for success for this team, aside from Zac Taylor. And I don't want to get into any of the the interviews after the game yesterday, or the recent press conference that Zac Taylor just had, because it's all the same shit. They give you the same crap, and there's no ownership here. So I really don't know where to go with these guys, and it's frustrating. I think you had a lot of luck getting to the Super Bowl. And you had a group of guys who had something to prove. And you happen to find a lot of talent because you took a shot in free agency and you brought in these guys. And I've reiterated this message. And sometimes a locker room comes together and narratives are created, and teams just have a lot more to fight for. And I think that's where they were in that moment. And their plan moving forward was to just, I guess, rely on Joe Burrow. But guess what? Joe Burrow's been injured quite a bit. So the other thing we want to talk about is, if Joe Burrow's injured consistently, and now it's kind of getting to be a problem, don't you think you should do something to change the identity of the offense maybe? Because if you don't have a healthy quarterback, there's no success. But what does Zac Taylor and this team do? They're just like, no, we're going to keep running the same offense. We're going to keep dropping Joe Burrow back 100 times a game. And we're just going to make him throw. And we're not going to work on the run game. We're not going to go after guards in free agency. We're just going to, pick up the scraps. And we're just going to let Joe Burrow do what he does. And then what the fuck is the point of having Zac Taylor? What is the point? There's been no improvement whatsoever. His scheme is atrocious. And we're just relying on Joe Burrow and his ability to read defenses so quickly. Imagine what we would do if we actually complemented his game a little bit and we gave him a decent run game. We incorporated play action. We incorporated 12 personnel, different formations, different shit to take the pressure off this guy and actually complement his skill set. It's a world I dream of, but unfortunately that's not reality with this organization. And it's frustrating. And I want to dive into, like I said, some of these interviews later on and kind of going over the nitty-gritty, but as of this point, I don't know how you sell any of us fans change for next year. You have a bunch of dejected players in the locker room. Players that aren't, as far as I'm concerned, voicing support for Zac Taylor, but you have an owner and a president who is putting his faith in a GM and a coach who have not done anything. And it's sad. I feel bad. So, love to hear your guys' opinions. Appreciate you guys tuning into the show today. We're going to talk some more Bengals stuff. It's going to be off season. We're going to get into it. But as far as I'm concerned, massive joke. But like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one. This is 4th and Whodey. Out.
In the dead of the night, I have these dreams. What'll happen to me? Will I burn out?